Hello, welcome back to the Pariah Nexus with Imperium Issue 2. So today we've got 3 Necron warriors. Let's have a brief look at the models. These are the ones that come with one of the cheap paint sets you can buy. So we get those 3. These are cool models. These came out at the same time as Indomitus. Or maybe not Indomitus, maybe come out when the new starter sets for 9th edition came out. We also get a paint. That is a base paint Runelord Brass, and get one of their crummy starter paintbrushes. So I just want to say a quick shout out to one of my subscribers, Scott, who hooked me up with this copy. He's going to get me a copy of issue 3 as well. And then when this launches properly in probably August or September, I'll be subscribing via my newsagent. So I'll be doing weekly videos going forward. So I'll definitely be doing issue 2 and 3. Most likely issue 4 if someone manages to get me a copy. And Scott, if you're listening, thank you very much. And if you do manage to get me that issue 4 as well, I will be eternally grateful. So let's go through the magazine, and at the end we'll see what the next 2 issues are. We already know, to be fair. Let's actually do that now. So next issue we've got some Macragge Blue and 3 Assault Intercessors, and then the mighty issue number 4. We get the Scorpec Destroyers and the I think it's a plasma scythe. But yeah, so that is going to be an excellent issue, highly sought after because there's considerable saving on retail there. We also get a pot of lead belcher. Okay, so let's quickly flip through this and see what we've got. In this issue, merciless Necron warriors arrive to join the battle. You'll learn more about the Necrons of the Zerkan dynasty and their ultramarine foes before building your new models and applying the first of many paints to your force of terrifying Necron androids. Okay, so we've got this page here, but talking about the troops. We'll learn more about the... Let me know in the comments if I'm pronouncing that wrong. It looks like the Zerkan dynasty. A bit about ultramarines, then a build guide, a paint guide, and then our playthrough number 2, escape route. So Necron warriors are deadly when commanded in great numbers. Their living metal bodies can repair terrible damage, while their volleys of gauze fire slay the foe with robotic efficiency. And this page just gives us a little synopsis of some of the stuff. So it talks about the weapon, the gauze flayer, a little about reanimation protocols. So talking about what the scarabs do when they eat up different materials and use it to create and repair different constructs. We've got a battle record, again, for this unit. We got 2 of these with issue number 1. One for the Royal Warden and one for the Primaris Lieutenant. So this is going to be used to kind of take notes of our battle performance for these guys. Now the Zerkan dynasty, we've got some information here as well. So what I do with my reviews is I read the main kind of blurb on each page. I'll continue to do that. The Zerkan dynasty of the Silent King. The return of their leader has given them new purpose, and they will now strike out against any who oppose his will. That leads on to a little bit more information. So Zarek is the last of the Silent Kings, the monarchs who once ruled the race known as the Necrontyr before they became the Necrons. Having spent millions of years in self-imposed exile, he has returned to unite his people once more. At the heart of the Pariah Nexus, he and his followers have begun to craft the weapon of immense power, the effects of which can already be felt in dozens of star systems. Should he succeed, this weapon may be capable of wiping out all life and restoring the Necron race to their rightful position as undisputed masters of the galaxy. And then it goes through a little bit of information of where that is. Then we move on to the Ultramarines, warriors of Macragge. The Ultramarines represent the very essence of what it means to be a Space Marine. They are noble, honourable and disciplined warriors in a galaxy divided by war and disorder. For 10,000 years they have served the Emperor, taking the fight to his enemies with courage and honour. And then it continues there. Then we've got the build guide. So these guys were pretty easy to put together. No doubt that's obviously by design, because they are one of the very first models that newcomers to 40k might lay their hands on. So one of the best ways prior to the likes of this magazine to get into Warhammer 40k is to buy their kind of very basic paint sets with a few models. In fact, the very first models I ever bought were from a very similar set a few years ago. But these are cool, 3 of each. They are slightly different poses and slightly different heads, but yeah, they're cool. Very easy to put together. All push fit, no glue required yet. Then we've got a paint guide, and so here, because we're getting just started, we've got more information just about general painting. So I'll read the main blurb. By now you will have assembled the first of your models. It is now time to begin painting them. This paint guide provides you with simple but useful pointers and techniques that will help to take the first steps on the road towards a fully painted collection of amazing Citadel miniatures. And everything we can see here, we're going to receive if you order via Hachette. So for example, the paint pots, some of the brushes, the clippers and that kind of thing, you won't get those if you order via your newsagent. But if you order via Hachette online, you will get this stuff eventually. Interestingly, we get a better look at some of the paints that we're going to get. So that's quite cool. Okay, so what they're telling us we need to do. Using a water pot, they've got a nice Citadel one on there, but use whatever you want, obviously. Talking about paints and brushes. Preparing to paint. Before you apply any paint to your models, make sure your painting area is set up correctly. You'll need your water pot, paints and brushes to hand. You may also wish to have some other useful items such as paper towels and a palette for your paints. So far, so good. Now, the one thing it doesn't tell us to do is prime the models. So, as the same as 40k Conquest and Mortal Realms, they are expecting and intending for you to paint directly onto the model without any sort of primer. That is a bad idea because it scrapes off very, very easily. You can do it, obviously, but yeah, for me, it's too easy to chip the paint. But what we've got here is it's telling us to do 3 coats of our Rune Lord brass onto the metallic areas. So we're avoiding the weapons here and that kind of thing. And what I'll do is I'll paint these up. By the time it comes out properly, I'll follow the paint guide for the first few issues. And when we do those reviews, we'll look at those properly. So that covers our Necron Warriors and our Royal Warden. Okay. Right, I'm just pausing there very, very quickly to say a massive thank you to anyone who's been using my Element Games affiliate link. Thanks to you using that link, I am now able to afford a brand new mic, so my shonky audio, which has plagued the channel for a couple of years, will soon be fixed. So massive, massive thank you for that. I will be using any funds gained through my affiliate links to just fund the channel going forward. So next up I'll be getting some new lighting, and then after that I'll be getting a new camera. But I just wanted to say a huge, huge thank you for you guys for helping me to increase the quality of the channel. Thank you. Okay, so now we're going to go through the playthrough. What you'll need for that is the battle mat from issue 1, your dice, your range ruler, and your lieutenant. Okay, so escape route. As the Necron repair facility hums to life, the Necron warriors within have begun to awaken. As they rise from their slumber, commands flood into their android brains. Within the damaged repair complex, newly repaired Necrons have begun to come to life, called to action by their commanders. A trio of Necron warriors have been awakened and given orders. Reach the repair facility's canoptek chambers and activate a canoptek plasma site. This robotic construct is capable of awakening the destroyer cults, Necrons whose bodies bristle with deadly weapons and whose minds are filled with insane hatred for the living. If the destroyers awake, they will surely carve the Space Marines into bloody pieces. Now what it does is it goes on then to say, you know, this is what the Necrons need to do, this is what the Space Marines need to do. Basically, The lieutenant starts in this corner, and our 3 Necron warriors start on this battlefield edge. And they are spaced 3.5 inches apart. And basically, the Necron warriors need to escape off the battlefield edge here. That is all they need to do. What it gives us as well is our information to do with the different stats they've got. We saw this from issue 1, but we've got one more important piece of information, and that is saves, a saving roll. So if any model takes damage, they will get an opportunity to save that damage and not take the wound. So basically what we've got here is movement-wise, the Primaris Lieutenant from last week, 6 inches. He's got a ballistic skill of 2 up. That means he needs to get a 2 or more to get a success when he's rolling. He's got 5 wounds and saves on a 3 up. He's got a Neo-Volkite pistol for which he rolls 2 dice. Necron warriors, movement of 5, ballistic skill 3 up. They've only got 1 wound each and they save on a 4 up. They use the Gauze Flayer, which is also a 2 dice attack. Now there's also rules for advancing. So the normal movement for the Necrons, for example, is 5 inches, but they get an opportunity to advance. So before you move one of the models, if you're going to advance them, you have to declare it first, and then you take their normal movement of 5 inches and you roll a dice and you add the distance. So that's another 5 inches, so that model can move up to 10 inches on that go. So the benefit of that is it can get into the fight with the lieutenant quicker, but on that turn, because they've advanced, they cannot shoot. Okay, so let's get into it. So we're going to start with the Space Marines. Now, he has got a 6-inch movement, so we're going to do that. So he has moved towards this Necron warrior. He's going to shoot. Right, now he is going to roll 2 dice. Now he can choose to fire both at one Necron warrior, or he can choose to use his 2 dice separately. So what he's going to do is because we know they've only got 1 wound, he only needs 1 opportunity to hit. So he's going to roll his dice. He's going to roll 1 for this guy. He needs to get a 2 up, and he makes it. And then he's going to target this guy. He's going to roll again, and he's got a 2 up. So that is a success as well. Now the Necrons have both got an opportunity to save against that. Now they save on a 4 up. So this guy, if he gets a 4 or more, he's not going to take that wound. And he fails, so he does receive that wound and he is out. This guy is the same, he needs a 4 up. And he gets a 4, so he's safe. Now it's the Necrons' turn. So they've got an opportunity to move first, and they are going to do that. So again, they've got a movement up to 5 inches. So he's going to travel in this direction, stay there. And this one, he's going to close the gap a little bit. But he's going to go there. Now they get to shoot as well. Now both of these guys have got 2 shots each. So this one's going to go first. He fires 2 dice. He gets a 5 and a 1. Now his ballistic skill is a 3 up, so that one fails. But our lieutenant has got an opportunity to save, and he saves on a 3 up, which he fails. So he takes 1 wound. So he's got 5. He's now down to 4, and we're going to use one of these dice actually to say he's got 4 left. You can use these tokens which you can cut out of the map for that as well. Okay, this Necron's going to have a go now. 2 dice, looking for 3 ups. 1 goes through. Lieutenant's going to try and save. And he does save, so no more wounds taken. Right, okay, so it's the Lieutenant's go now. So he's going to separate his attacks again. So he's going to go try and get a 2 up here from this guy. And that is a success. He's going to try and save it on a 4 up. And he does save it. Lieutenant's going to use his second attack on this guy. 2 up, he manages to do it. 4 up to save, he does. Right, we're back to the Necrons now. Now this guy here, he's got an opportunity to potentially get out and escape. So he's got a 5 movement, which would bring him to here. But we're going to advance him to see if he can get off of the mat. So he would need 1, 2, 3. He would need a roll of 4 or more to escape. So, he only got a 1. So he's going to take his normal movement of 5 inches plus the extra 1 inch for advancing. But that means that he cannot escape on this turn, and he cannot shoot this turn either because he advanced. And I think we're going to do the same with this guy. He's no longer interested in fighting, so we're going to roll to advance. He gets a 2. So not great. So he gets to move a total of 7 inches. But as a result, they both know that they can escape on their next turn if they survive an attack from the lieutenant. And it is the lieutenant's go first. So he's going to move out of combat range, but he's going to move 5 inches there. So he's in easy distance of the 2. So you're going to go for this guy first with his first dice. So he's looking for 2 up. He manages it. He needs to score a 4 or more to save. He does. He has saved it. We already know the Necrons have won, but we'll finish anyway. This guy, he scored a 1, so he doesn't get the opportunity to hit at all. So we're back to the Necrons go. They are both within 5 inches of the exit, and they both escape. A win for the Necrons. They can go and continue and awaken that plasma site. So that's a fairly good advancement of learning the rules. Certainly picking up much quicker than we did with Mortal Realms. So that takes us through all of that. It says here as well, you can do a rematch. Once the game is over, try again with the Necron Warriors taking the first turn by starting with Necrons turn 1. That would be a much easier way for the Necrons to win, because they could do it by turn 2 if they all advance. But there you go. Then finally, again, we've already seen it, but preview for issue 3 and 4, Assault Intercessors and Macragge Blue paint. And then issue 4, the big one, Scorpec Destroyers and some Lead Belcher. But I look forward to bringing these to you very soon, and obviously look forward to kicking off properly as well. So issue 2, it's a solid issue. We get a nice paint, we get 3 nice models, and we learn more about the rules. But there you go, guys. Thank you very much for watching. It is much appreciated. I'll see you very, very soon for more Warhammer Imperium. Take care.